Hi, and welcome to part 5 of Unlocking Your Spiritual Connection. If this happens to be the first time that you've come across this channel, please go back to the beginning of this series because we go through so many interesting and informative things. Also on part 2, we do a meditation and a energetic alignment to be able to get your energy in a place to open up your connection better. Also on the previous episode to today, which is part 4, we also did a powerful energy activation and also a mantra that was brought through from source. So it's very important that you go back, and if you're interested in this, to the beginning to watch all of the series. What I will say is with part 2, when we do the meditation and the alignment, is that should be something that you do on a daily basis if you are looking to really open up your mediumship and this connection. So typical, we have a jet going over. So anyway, today's episode is about crystals. Now, I'm not going through a complete array of crystals. This isn't a crystal workshop. This is just going through some basic crystals and the crystals that I've used and what's happened to me through my journey to assist you. Is that we're looking at crystals so we can use them to amplify the connection. So whether you're doing this for mediumship, to connect to loved ones, to bring messages through for other people, whether you're channeling, whatever this is for, crystals can be used for an application for that connection. So number 1, the main crystal that you're going to see everywhere for people to say that, right, this is the one that you use, is quartz, clear quartz. And whether it's a single piece, we've got a double one here, got all kinds of clear quartz. These, you could hold these in the palm of your hand as you're meditating for a better connection. This is a really good way of doing it. But make sure that at the same time you're grounding before that connection, otherwise you'll end up being very blissful and airy-fairy and not really grounded. You need to be grounded for a good, strong connection to bring that through, bring the information through properly. So that's one way that you can use and amplify your own energetic connection to source. So whether it be pieces like that, or I've got a tumbled piece here, so you can use a tumbled piece. Okay, don't know if you saw my short the other day where I was talking about crystals. If you did, you would have seen this amazing piece. This is power. This is a powerhouse. You can see through the light. It is stunning. Okay, as the light catches it. Now this is really powerful. You can jump straight in if you want, if you feel the need to something like this, and you would literally put this in front of you when you are making that connection. When you're meditating, you can just place it in front of you and put your hands on it, or like I've showed you previously, 2 smaller bits to be able to facilitate that. So clear quartz is a good place to start. Even though we call it a basic crystal, it's not. It's hugely powerful. So clear quartz is one that you can start with. The other one that I absolutely love to use, and if you saw the short, you would have heard me talking about this. And this is just at the back of me here, is amethyst. Now, again, because the shape of this is an amethyst geode, they call it a cathedral. the energy that comes from this is huge. It really does kick out some energetics. You don't have to go to this length. You can use something smaller. I have an example here. So this is a smaller geode. Again, isn't it beautiful? Look at that. What an amazing piece. I just love amethyst. It's the colour. I am so drawn to amethyst. Again, beautiful for connection. This will open everything up. Okay. And really, it's what you are drawn to. Okay, we can have a list and I can suggest various crystals, but I honestly believe how this works is that crystals find you. And if you saw the video, again, the short on the hagstone, how the hagstone found me, and all of my crystals that I have come across, I would like to say have found me. And in some instances, they really did. And I'll explain that in a little while. So although you can buy crystals online, I don't think you get the energetics and the feeling that you need to have when you need to connect with a certain piece. And you also don't know, once you've chosen it, whether it's actually going to be that specific piece that is going to land through your door. So I would always say to go to a shop or wherever to personally pick your piece, to feel them, see them, walk round and see what you're drawn to. I find this hugely important. So you've got the first two there, the clear quartz crystal and then the amethyst. You can use either of these to facilitate a higher connection. Third on the list, oops. Third on the list is this, which is Celestite blue. Again, lovely piece here. Now, this will open up the throat chakra. And as obviously you can see with the blue colour of it, this is why it's blue and this is how it facilitates that. It will work on all of the other energetics and also the whole of the chakra system, but it concentrates on the throat chakra, which is a really good thing, because obviously if you're looking to, with mediumship or with channeling, if you're looking to bring the connection through verbally, whether you're channeling for somebody else or whether you are looking to do mediumship as a business, to bring information through for other people, obviously you need to be able to unlock the throat chakra to be able to facilitate in bringing that information through verbally. So this is also a really good crystal to use. Now, something else that is also really good is something called Labradorite. Now, today, the form that I'm going to show you is actually in a crystal skull. I have it in other forms, but not with me today. You will see, if I can hold this up to the light, the colours that you will see off of Labradorite under the light when you hold it to the window. See the blue there? It holds within it. So there you go, the flash, look at that. Within it, so many different colours. Again, there, look. It has flashes of blue, of red, of orange. In fact, all of the chakra colours within Labradorite. Now, this little fella here turned up. I wasn't going out to buy him. I had no intention on going and buying a crystal skull. But this is how things happen with crystals. And I'll just tell you a small story. I was going to Scotland on a family vacation, and before I went, I got the information that I would be looking at bringing back 2 pieces of crystals with me. Okay, sorry about the noise. I'm going to continue. Okay, it's just the jets going over. So I went to Scotland, totally forgot about the information that I was given about the two pieces of crystal. One day in the car, was in the literally the middle of nowhere, on my way to somewhere, and we came to an island, and on the island there was this great big banner that says Crystal Workshop, Crystal Museum, and straight away it was like, that's it, I need to go. Suddenly the information came back and it was like, I need to go there. And this is how things happen with me, and places that I need to go with crystals, the information. So off we go. My husband was thrilled. But he's so patient. So we ended up going to this museum and to the shop. I walked into the shop, and straight away, the first thing that I saw was this enormous piece of selenite on the floor. And it was shouting at me. I knew that that was one piece of crystal that I had to purchase. But once I was in the shop, I just then, okay, right, I know that I am going to see a crystal skull. And I kind of already knew the crystal it was going to be in as well. So I walked further down the store, and there he is. He's sat there waiting for me. So I ended up with a Labradorite crystal skull and the hugest piece of selenite that you've ever seen. It's so heavy. Now, obviously some people say that it's a load of rubbish. Crystals are just crystals. They don't do anything. They don't have any power. I might have believed that at one point, had I not experienced what I've experienced with crystals over a numerous amount of years. And I'll give you this example. So this huge piece of selenite is about this thick, that wide. You can't see it, it's off camera, it's huge. We drove to Scotland, so therefore we drove back. And I put this piece of extremely large selenite, the back of my seat in the footwell behind me, and then didn't think anything of it. So it was a very long journey, 8.5 hours. So a good few hours in, as we're driving back, I'm starting to have some really weird emotions. I'm feeling all these things. I'm seeing things. I'm hearing things. My body keeps going hot and cold. I can feel various chakra movements, the energy within the chakras, like starting to move. My hands kept going hot and cold. And I'm thinking, what on earth is happening to me? It's like so strange. I even mentioned it to my husband. I said, I'm starting to feel really weird. Anyway, so a few hours went by and we stopped to have a break. I got out of the car, went to grab my coat, and saw the selenite literally on the footwell at the back of me. And aha moment. I'm thinking, oh, wow, that's what it is. I'm literally been sat more or less on the biggest bit of selenite you've ever seen. And because it's so powerful, because it's such a large piece, it was having all this effect on my energy, my aura, my chakras, the emotions. So yes, I have experienced it firsthand on many occasions. Crystals can be and are very powerful. So to open you up and help with an energetic connection for mediumship is yes, 100%. So that's my story on those two bits, and that's how crystals will always find you. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is something quite unusual that you will probably have never heard of or come across. And this is a piece of Charoite, and it is spelt Charoite. Very powerful stone. Connection on a cosmic multi-dimensional level, this is. Because it's rare, and I've got a lot of rare stones, but I'm not going to be showing you them all today. Rarer stones come in weight. So they, obviously in that case, they are more expensive. So this is quite an expensive piece. So be aware that some of the rarer, more high intense stones, you will pay by the weight, which obviously will then make them more expensive. But this is worth having in the future. If you're already experiencing channeling, connections to spiritual realms, or already doing mediumships, and you want to advance further, then this is a good stone to also purchase. All right. So when I said to you that obviously you've got various crystals that you can use to help with your energetic amplification, there are also tools that have been made from crystals that you can use, and this is one of them. I don't know whether you've ever seen anything like this before. It's a very powerful piece. It has, if you can just see there, if I move it slightly, on each of the sides of the pyramids, you will see sacred geometry in the forms of Reiki symbols. There's also one underneath there. Now, this is all quartz crystal, clear quartz crystal. You will see on each of the little bits here, they are terminated, which is this pointy bit here. So each end is terminated. And also you've got that pyramids in the middle, and then each side has a Reiki symbol on. So in doing so, even though it's really small, if I hold that in my hand, you'll be able to see how small that is. Again, it makes it exceptionally powerful. Now, you can use this in healing. You can put it under a bed if you're doing Reiki or an energy healing session. But you can also use this by putting it under your bed of an evening if you want to start with astral traveling, or you just literally want to connect to a specific loved one. You can do this with just as you go to sleep. You know, when you're just literally falling asleep, just before you drop off, and we call this the hypnagogic state. So when you're in the hypnagogic state, just before you go off to sleep, you can set an intention of whatever you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to experience, who you want to contact. And you can use it doing something like this, or a crystal just under your bed, to help with that amplification of energetics for a connection. So that's something else that you can use. But again, that's just a tool, but it's a crystal tool. Now, when I was talking previous, and I said about energetics, and some stones are very, very powerful. Now, giving you just some of the basics that you can use to help with that amplification, there are some others that are exceptionally powerful. One of those is this. Now, when I said to you previously, there are certain pieces of jewellery and crystals that find me. And this was a typical example. I was shopping one day in London and was at a store called Watkins. And this is a store which is over 100 years old and sells some amazing things, lots and lots of metaphysical books. And I always have to go in and have a look round when I'm in London. I purchased some books, and right next to me was a glass case full of jewellery. And I literally got a pull to have a look at something within the case. And this was literally shouting. This is how it works with me. This isn't really my style of jewellery at all. And a lot of pieces aren't my style. I wouldn't normally buy them. But when it shouts, no matter what it looks like, I have to purchase it. And this was one of those cases. Now, you'll see if I hold this up to the camera, that you can see that it's a green translucent stone in the middle. At the bottom, it's opal, but the stone in the middle is called Moldavite. And I didn't know this at the time when I purchased this stone. This just shouted. I had to have it. I didn't even know what Moldavite was. So once I researched what it was, I realized that this is a stone that's not even from Earth. This comes from outer space. This comes from the cosmos. And the reason that happens is that many millions of years ago, this came from a meteorite that had hit Earth. So it's not even from here. But the energetics of it, because of that, are extremely high, extremely. Now, when you first get Moldavite, and what I will say is make sure that you get a genuine piece, but it is very, very, very powerful. And you have to be careful when you first come to wear it or use it. When I first started to wear it, I was experiencing headaches. I would get heart palpitations. My energy would be all over the place, my emotions, because it really is pulling everything up. So I would say that be very careful when you start to work with Moldavite. Only wear it for a few hours at a time. Probably not even that to begin with, 20 minutes at a time, and build yourself up to it, because you really do have to be careful where that's concerned. And another example, I have a friend who happened to borrow this necklace for a week, and she kept it in a bedside cabinet of an evening, and during that time her husband started having really serious bad nightmares, and he was experiencing really horrible things that he was doing within his dream state. And she messaged me and said that this was happening to him. And I said, well, yeah, unfortunately, with this being so powerful, it was affecting all the lower energies, and it was bringing everything up within dream state. And he was just saying, he said, I don't understand it. He says, I've never experienced anything before. To this date, we still haven't told him that it was this that was doing it. So he still doesn't know. But it just goes to show you, like I said, be very careful and be aware of its power, and that's Moldavite. So another thing as well is I will just go on before we move on to the next bit, where we're talking about how crystals find you, and this is another example. A few years ago, I was in London, and I went past a store, and there was various necklaces hanging there, and this is one of them. Right, and you'll see the colour of that. I didn't know what this was at all. I'd never seen it, but I was drawn to it again and again. I walked past it several times, looked at other pieces, and it was one of those things that happens with me. I know I need it. I've got to have it. It's shouting at me. And I asked the lady what it was, and she called it's Larimar. Never heard of this stone before. So I looked it up, and again, I had to smile because at the time of what I was going through, and it is for connections, a higher level of connection to the spiritual realms and also a multi-dimensional level. So I ended up with this necklace. So go forward a few months, and I'm in Glastonbury. It was a time where I was literally going to all of the power spots down there in the UK. And in Glastonbury, there is a little shop called The Portal, and it has some amazing pieces of jewellery in. So I went in, and I'm walking round the shop, and I walked past a piece, and it literally, it shouts. I can't explain it. It's like a whole energetic of that you get pulled towards a certain piece. So what I do then with that is I walked around, I looked at all the other pieces and to see if I had that same feeling with anything else. No, went back again, back round, second time, again, the pull to that certain piece. I did this 3 times, and each time I passed this specific piece, it was literally a pull. And this is what this piece looks like. And as you'll notice at the top of it, it's got also a piece of sacred geometry attached to it, which makes it even more powerful. And this is in silver. The colour of the stone, as you see, I wasn't quite sure whether this was turquoise. It didn't say what it was. So I asked the gentleman and said, "What is this stone?" And I smiled. He said, "It's Larimar." So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I've never come across this stone before, and now twice within a matter of months. So this had to be purchased. So that's how things happen. You know, sometimes it's confirmation, especially when there was no sign on it. It wasn't saying what it was. It doesn't even look, because you get different colours of Larimar, looks nothing like the bits of this. So again, you can have confirmation like that when you know that you are being called to purchase a specific crystal for a reason. And that's how it happens with me. So that's it with crystals. This isn't a crystal workshop. It's just a few crystals to say what I use, what I experience, how they work with me. So you understand if you have that feeling and that you are being drawn to that crystal for a reason, to work with it for a specific reason, to open up your energetics for a certain way, to work with a certain chakra, or for a connection to a higher force. So now, when we mentioned about sacred spaces and altars, now up until a few years ago, I hadn't done anything with an altar. I knew about them. I didn't feel the need to use them up until a few years ago. So I have used altars, and I now use an altar all the time. It's either within my meditation area or within my studio. And how I do this is I've got a small table and I have various things which I put on it, some crystals that I feel that need to go on there. I either use oracle cards or tarot cards where I pull a specific message, ask for information, also set an intention, write that out, and use all of that and put it on the table and use this as my sacred space altar to be able to, again, amplify whatever it is that I'm looking to do. So you can use photos of people that you want to connect with a loved one. This is brilliant for mediumship within that sacred space, within the altar. Intention that you want to write out and put on there, the crystals that you want to use. Now, I would suggest that you do this on a monthly basis. And so you swap everything out, clean it all down, freshen all your crystals up, clean your crystals, redo your cards, reset your intention on a monthly basis. You can also do it dependent on whether you're using the full moon, what energetics are around at the time. So sacred spaces and altars are always a good thing to use, and they can facilitate opening the energetics of yourself. It's like you are creating a portal, an energy portal, by putting all of these things within an area, with using your energetics, using your meditation, the energy alignment that we did in one of the previous messages. Do that in front of all of this. Each time you use it, you are literally powering this sacred space, this altar up. So every time it gets more powerful and more powerful. So it enables your connection, again, amplification, more and more and more as you use this. So it's always good to do that. So when you've done this and you've built your sacred space and you've made your altar, whatever your experiences are and your connection, I would love to hear about it. Please send me a message in the comments and let me know your experiences. All right. So the last thing we're going to be talking about is embracing your spiritual journey. Now, on this journey, it's not all love and light and bliss. I wish it was, but it isn't. We go through some negative experiences. We can go through what we call dark night of the soul, but it's all part of our spiritual journey. And we have to go through these lower negative feelings to be able to move through them and to go to a different level. It's all part of the journey. It's all a balance. You know, it's all, if you have a higher point, it's like you're on a roller coaster. There is always a lower point at some point, and the journey can be like this. But you've got to understand that, and to really be okay with it, and to try and bring yourself into balance as much as possible. And through working with the energetics, that's one of the reasons why it's highly important to ground yourself always when we're working with these higher energies. The more you ground yourself, the better connection that you will have, the better information that you will be able to facilitate and to bring through for your mediumship or for whatever you're using this course for. Now, I just want to finish this by reading you a little excerpt of my book. And this was really the basis of this course, because the book is actually called Unlocking Your Spiritual Connection. So this is kind of what started it all, along with wanting to give something back to all of you with obviously all of the subscribers I have now as a thank you. So this is like embracing the journey for your transformation and growth. So I just want to read you just a little bit of this. Communication with departed loved ones is a profound experience that reaches beyond the veil of the physical world. It allows us to transcend our human limitations and connect with the essence of those that have passed. This connection holds the potential for transformative healing and growth, both for ourselves and for our departed loved ones. In my own journey, I have witnessed the incredible power of this through my facilitations with people with beyond the quantum healing, past life regressions that I've done over the years. So it can facilitate and heal wounds, release unresolved emotions, and bring us closure to past relationships. And the messages and insights received from the spirit realm often provide a sense of comfort and clarity, helping us to make sense of our own lives and providing guidance on our journey forward. But beyond the healing and closure, the communication journey has a much deeper purpose. It's a pathway to our own spiritual evolution and a means of expanding our consciousness. Through the act of communicating with departed loved ones, we enter into a dance with the spiritual realm. I love that. And obviously, exchanging energy, knowledge, and wisdom. And as we embrace this journey, we begin to unravel the mysteries of life and death, understanding that our existence extends far beyond this physical plane. The spirit realm becomes a source of guidance and support, and a place where we can connect with our higher selves and tap into universal wisdom. And that's where this spiritual journey is, what it's all about. And like I said in previous videos, mine started in 2012. And when I say start, it's never finished. I have learned such a lot through my own journey, through facilitating with other people as well, which has been amazing. It never stops. Once you start on this journey, I believe that you can't stop it. It's like undoing Pandora's box, and it can be such a benefit to yourself and to other people around you. The things that you can learn, the wisdom for me has been phenomenal. So I hope that you enjoy your spiritual journey, your connection, to be able to facilitate and open those energetics, to be able to connect with source for whatever reason, whether it be for mediumship or just a connection to your higher self. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Please go back and watch the other videos, because there are some very powerful things amongst those. So like I said previously, you should be looking to do the meditation and the energetic alignment at least every day if you want to maintain a good connection. Last week's video, we did also a language of light energy activation, and I also managed, very last minute, they gave me a mantra for people to use. So that was also very important as well to go. So go back and check that out. If you've not already subscribed, please subscribe. And also I ask you to like this video and others, because if you like it, and I believe thumbs up now, you get nice sparkles. If you like it, more people will get to experience this, and that just makes life obviously a whole lot better once everybody can connect to source. So I thank you again. Next week's video is all your questions answered. So please leave your question in the comments. I'm going to collate those and go through those next week. So any questions that you have, put in the comments, and I look forward to answering them. Again, thank you and enjoy your day.